The number one thing that I think drives INFJs to burnout the most is Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome in. I've done a video like this before where I was talking about INFJ burnout and recovery from it, but it wasn't really all of that, it wasn't that good of a video for me personally. That was almost 2 years ago now, so I feel like it's time to really remake this video and kind of shorten it and make it more sweet and to the point. This is going to be about what INFJ burnout really is, what the signs are, the symptoms as well. So if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe. That way you keep getting this content. And then don't forget to like and comment on the video as well. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you agree, if there's other symptoms that I've missed, whatever it is. And let's get into the video. INFJ burnout is where we finally are at our peak of what we can handle, what we are subjecting ourselves to. It's like after we absorb all of the negative emotions for however long it takes us to get to burnout, that's when we immediately pull back and we're like, nope, no more. I need so much time, it is not even funny. So the top 3 things that I think all INFJs feel when they're in burnout is number 1, depression. It is like the recurring theme of every single INFJ's life. It is not easy, and it is not, it's kind of hard to really explain unless you've felt it. It's just this feeling of nothing is ever going to work. There's never going to be an upside. There's just so much negativity in whatever it is in the world that, we hold it all, and then it just really affects ourselves and within. Again, this will differ with every INFJ as well. It depends on, their life and whatever. So depression is the absolute number 1. And then the second one is anxiety. The second top thing that you feel when you're in burnout or when you are at the burnout point is anxiety. It's, how am I supposed to help all these people when, I can't even do this or whatever it is. And we'll get into what you usually say and what you think as well. So number 1 is depression, number 2 is anxiety, number 3 is empty. I'm pretty sure that this is kind of a collective thing, but I feel just empty and numb, and I just don't want to deal with the rest of the world, so I kind of turn off my emotions to a point. And I know that that's not really a great thing to do, but when you're at that point, it just seems like the only option. So those are the top 3 things that you feel when you're in burnout. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is what you think when you're in burnout. So I do have top 4 things for this one. So the first one is, why am I feeling this? That is probably the first thing that you're going to just think of at all when you're really trying to figure it out. So this might not be exactly when you start feeling burnout, but it's after you've felt it, and then it's like, okay, there is something else going on here. Why am I feeling this? So the number 2 thing is no. And I think this is a very, very big part of the beginning of burnout, and it kind of stays through it. So it spikes. INFJs are not known for saying no, but when we do say no, it is hard no. I am not doing this. I can't, which that actually is number 3, is I can't do this, or I can't help you. I can't, feel this way. I can't think this way, whatever it is, it starts with I can't. And then number 4 is it's not worth it. So there's something going on, you've already taken in so much of this other negativity, this absorbing other people's emotions. You're a sponge. You walk through a crowd of people, and then you constantly just get more and more put on you, and then it's you're walking lower, as if you've been compressed. And so that's just, it's not worth it. That's why a lot of INFJs don't like going to concerts or to things where there's going to be a lot of people, because there's just so much going on that you can't predict what is going to happen in that situation. Logically, an INFJ would think, there's so many people around, I'm going to absorb all of their emotions. I'm going to feel so crappy by the end of it. So at least that's, what I think. It might be different for all INFJs. If you are an INFJ and you feel differently, or you have different things that you default to in your thinking, please leave a comment below. I would really like to know. So now we're also going to go on to what you usually say. So what you usually say when you're in burnout, and I do have 3 top points with a 4th add-in. So the first one is no when others ask you to do something. So instead of just saying it in your head, you are actually saying it out loud. And this is going to be different because now other people are going to start thinking that you're mad at them, or that it's them that is the problem and not, you know, the burnout that's going on within you, because they don't know and you've never said no to them before, or you've, you know, there's just a whole bunch of things, and I'm going to talk about INFJ boundaries at some point as well. If you want that video, please leave a comment because it's not really on the top of my list, but I can definitely push it up if you want it. So that one is no when others ask you to do something. So the second thing that you say out loud is I can't. So again, it goes along with what you're thinking, but again, you're finally saying it out loud. And a lot of the times INFJs don't always say what they're thinking because of the fact that we are so particular about what we say that everything holds meaning. If an INFJ is talking to you at all, there is a reason. There is something underneath the surface, or there's something going along with that, and that's why they're saying it out loud. So again, this is when I can't comes into play. I don't think this is a super common phrase, but I do think that it is more regular to hear than in a normal INFJ life. So then the third one is stop. I have said this so many times, and it's like I don't mean it in a bad way, but it always comes out the wrong way, because when I'm feeling burned out, I literally cannot take anymore. I can't take any more outside stimulus. I can't take any more emotions. I can't take any more talking. I can't take any more listening. I can't take any more literally anything. Like, it is just so much, and it's overwhelming, and it's like, just stop. And that's it. Like, stop and walk away. So those are the top 3 things that you say or you really want to say when you're in burnout. And the best way to categorize this is that INFJs are not short answer people. I guarantee you that there is not one INFJ that will give you the short answer compared to the long answer unless it is for a certain circumstance. Like, unless we can tell that you do not want a longer answer. You can literally look back to my old videos and see that I was talking for like 20, 30 minutes sometimes. And that's because nobody was there for me to play off of, for me to gauge whether or not people's engagement was really there. And one-on-one or in a group with anybody, you are able to tell this, and that is when the INFJ is like, all right, I'm just gonna give the short answer compared to the long answer. So when they start doing that, there might be something going on, and you, like, if you're starting to be in burnout more so, you are more likely to give short answers than long answers because you just don't want to put in the time and effort, which is understandable because it's exhausting sometimes. Like, when you're not feeling it, it's just exhausting. So what you look like to others when you're in burnout is sad, angry, tense, stressed, and even emotionless. And I've gotten this so many times, it's ridiculous. Whether or not it was in my job, in my work, with my friends, with my family, it doesn't matter who it is or what situation it is, because they always tell me that I look angry, that I look sad, that I just, like, I bring this tension to the room, and it's like, no longer am I able to absorb the emotions. They are literally bouncing off of me instead, and other people are able to feel that. And I know that that's probably a new theory out there in the INFJ world. So just to reiterate that, a lot of people, when we're at our full absorption from being the sponge of everybody else, we cannot absorb anything else, but our bodies still pull it. So when we are pulling it, but we cannot absorb it, we reflect it, and there's like these barriers that we put up. So when it hits the barrier, it bounces back into the room that you're in, into whatever space that you're in, and you just kind of have this, now people can feel it when they're around you because of the fact that it's their own emotions that are bouncing off of you to them, but it's also amplified. But it's not positive emotions, it's negative emotions, because for whatever reason, we usually end up picking up more negative emotions when we're in burnout than if we weren't. And that I will also get into on the next point of these symptoms. So again, what you look like to others is sad, angry, tense, stressed, and even emotionless. So there's that. So finally, let's get into what these symptoms actually are. So first one is exhaustion. You will feel literally exhausted every single second of the day. And it's like, again, it's like if you're walking through that pile of people or whatever it is, you just feel compressed by the end of the time that you have gotten from point A to point B. You just feel the whole weight of the world on you, and it's dragging you down. So you feel exhausted because you now feel the weight of everything that you have carried from here until, from when the last time that you burned out to this time you burned out. So the second one is mental fatigue. And I know that this is so true for me, at least, and it's really like, I don't want to learn anything else. I don't want to think about anything else. I don't want to see or hear anything else when I am in burnout, because of the fact that there's already so much going on within me that I cannot add anymore, which, again, I think I can't. I say I can't. I literally can't. So there's mental fatigue, which again is not characteristic of an INFJ. INFJs love to learn. Our third function is TI. If we are not learning, we're not feeling like ourselves. So the third one is physical fatigue. It just feels so heavy, on the same coin as that exhaustion. So number 4 is irritable. And I know that this is very true again for me. So whenever you're getting into this feeling, it's just like everything is coming up towards you in a more negative light. And this actually goes with the next one. So number 5 is more aware of other negative aspects or others' negative emotions. Like I said, it just somehow you are way more aware of the negative than of the positive at this point. And it's not something that we are usually programmed to do. If we are in the negative, like if we are really pessimistic about ourselves, about our friends, about whatever it is on a personal level, then you know that you are in burnout, because of the fact that that is not characteristic of who you actually are. Correct me if I'm wrong. It may be different for some other INFJs, so by all means leave me a comment, but this is literally the way that I am, because I am usually always the positive person. Even if people are like, stop being so positive, that there's no way that you can actually be this optimistic about the things going on with you. Like, nobody can be that happy. And they're right. Like, I can't actually be that happy all the time, but I still am, because of the fact that I just have this positive, optimistic outlook for my friends and my family and like the people that I care about. So again, you're irritable because you are getting all the negative emotions and you're actually feeling it way more than usual. Like I said, everything is just amplified. So then we also get to the breaking point. And this is when you feel like this could either trigger the INFJ door slam, which I will do another video about at some point. Again, it's not really at the top of my list, but if you want me to talk about it, leave a comment below and I will talk about that next. So the breaking point could lead to the INFJ door slam if the burnout was led to by a specific person. And that is, I don't really know how to explain that in a shorter term, so hopefully that was good enough of an explanation for that one. So then we also have dread. You dread going out. You dread talking to anybody. It could be your best friend in the entire world, but you dread having to be around them or having to talk to them because of the fact that you are just so burned out that it is like you just can't do it. Again, just can't. So then we also have silence. If you're an INFJ, you already know that being silent is a big part of who you are. Like, that's just, you're in your mind doing other things. It's not that uncharacteristic to be silent. But when you're constantly silent and you're silent for such a long time, and in uncharacteristic times as well. So if somebody's asking you for advice, but you just are like, I can't give you any more advice. Again, it's that I can't, because you are in this burnout period. So it's dreading those things. It's being silent during those times. And the number one thing that I think drives INFJs to burnout the most is not being appreciated for who we are, because we just want to bring love and appreciation and acceptance to the world because of the fact that that's what we're missing. That when we are not appreciated for who we are and what we're trying to do, we don't want to have anything to do with either those people, that event, that time, whatever it is, the situation, literally anything in any way that you could feel unappreciated. You don't want to spend any more time with that. So that is the number one thing that I think draws INFJs into this burnout time. So if this resonated with you, please leave me a comment. Let me know what else you think is on this list. These are the biggest things for what you feel, think, say, look like to others, and actual symptoms of it. So again, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.